cat hair. Such a problem in the winter. It is winter. I've come to Tunbridge. That's the sneaky side back entrance, which I didn't realise existed until I got here 10 minutes ago. And we're here to discuss what Network Rail do during the autumn and winter months. So we've come to Tunbridge West Yard, which is a GB rail freight yard just west of Tunbridge Station. We've been looking at the trains that run on the network during autumn and winter. That's an interesting thing. A lot of people just think of leaf fall. Network Rail and the train companies have done such a good job at advertising that leaf fall season. The leaf fall season in October is a problem. If you don't know what we're talking about there, here's a little clip of my friend Steve's video, which he made with Southeastern and Network Rail a couple of years ago, where he explains how adhesion is a problem. You should watch that as well. But what some people don't realise is that in January and February you have like winter trains, so after the leaf fall season, and we caught up with a nice man called Chris that showed us a train that actually keeps the third rail clean as well.
So it has two treatments. One is that it brushes the third rail in winter, and in autumn we do two things. We water jet and clean the line, and also lay sandite, which is a adhesion modifier that contains sand, so it makes the train wheels grip the railhead. So we water jet at 1,500 bar, which is enough to slice rail. So we'll witness the power of high pressure water. The third rail is detected by an ultrasonic sensor, so it detects third rail. So that's the brush.
Yeah, that looks neat.
So if you're going this direction, then this should be the last brush in action. Then you get the fluid behind that lays, and it comes out in a bead. Yeah, it's a very thickened glycol mix, which is a bit like antifreeze. So in winter, when there are the threat from leaves is not there, we can only need to protect the third rail from de-icing and ice build-up, which then separates the third rail pickups from the rail and isolates the train, so the train won't work without electricity. So this fluid lowers the temperature and stops the freezing, the build-up, and allows the shoes to come in contact with the rail. This is to demonstrate the power of the water jetting that we use to clear the railhead. And water
has done that.
Water has done that. So we use high pressure water, high energy water, to clear the railhead and to clean the rail. So for testing purposes in the yard, we need to protect the rail from that power. And this is a test piece, as you can see by the indents in there. The water pressure is 1,500 bar, enough to cut steel when you're stationary. Hence the marks in the
and you can
test
cut
plate.
steel with water?
Yes.
If the pressure is high enough?
Yes.
That's incredible.
And we use that technology to make sure everybody gets to work and clears the rails and makes the railway work in autumn. Delivering 1,500 bar of water pressure. And this will be treated up to 40 miles an hour to clean the railhead of the southeast.
Are there any James Bond fans here? Isn't there a James Bond film where there's like a train? And it's like because this is is it GoldenEye, where there's a plough and there's a nuclear bomb on board the train, and it goes. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's the GoldenEye train. And then in the yard here, I caught up with a nice gentleman called Sam, because there's a whole bunch of Class 73 locos, and they've got huge long tanks on their trains, which means they can go out all day for 10, 11, 12 hours at a time to do rail cleaning. I got to go in a cab as well.
So at the moment this is set up as an RHTT unit, so similar to what we've seen earlier. So these are tanks filled with water, and we're just jetting the railhead as we go. These are 80,000 litres in a whole set, all powered by a generator, separate power. You've got an operator on board who will control when we're jetting and when we lift up, obviously making sure to avoid jetting through any point work and things like that. Loco at each end, what happens is they go out top and tailed, and that's so we can go all the way to the end of the line, change ends, and carry on back the other direction. These are out on average, normally out 12 hours a day. Very consistent loops covering Kent and Sussex. So this is a 73
In the cab.
in the cab.
Pretty old.
Live. It is extremely old, and considering that these are trundling up and down the railway, clearing leaves, you've still got the old loudspeaker phone that connects both cabs. GSMR has been updated. We now fit them with sockets for the iPads for the drivers work off, and we've got some camera ports. Apart from that, there's been very little in the word of upgrades. So we have normally around 8 services a day. 4 of those have got set paths, sometimes more. 4 services a day are set as standby services. So basically we get everything ready, we have the drivers sat waiting to go, and then we'll just get a heads up from Network Rail letting us know the route that they want us to take and the time that the path's in for.
That sort of sounds like you're waiting for the 999 call, as if you're like the fire brigade. You're sat on standby, then suddenly they go, can you go and do this bit of track down here? And you're like, yep, and you're on it.
Yeah.
Well, they schedule in a path in between passenger services. They work out on the fly when you can go and run. That's cool. That's cool. We're just leaving. This loco's turned up, this one. But this RHTT, that's Railhead Treatment Train, it's just rolling in. That apparently left the yard about 3 o'clock this morning. It's about midday now. So that's coming in, having been out on the tracks this morning.